Many of the world's animals are very abundant in their species, but there are some that are not that lucky. Many of the world's animals struggle for everyday existence. They are on the endangered species list due to their lack of habitat and the destruction of their habitat, and also their inability to reproduce on their own without the help of humans in facilities. The giant panda is one of these. They stand up to 6 feet tall, can weigh up to 500 pounds. Some people call them panda bears, but really they're not even kin to the bear species. The pandas live in the mountainous temperate forests of China. They have a very small home range of 2.5 miles where they feed, and that means that within a 2.5 mile range they do not leave it. They never will their entire life. They only know that range. They don't know how to go off and forage on their own. These animals have not been able to survive properly in the wild on their own, but with the help of humans they are making their comeback. But there are only around 1,000 wild pandas in the wild, but there are more in zoos all around the world. The number one reason for the endangerment of the panda is that most pandas live in captivity, and when they live in the wild they don't know how to interact with others. They want to be by themselves. They're very isolated animals. So when it becomes springtime and they're supposed to find a mate, they won't go. They don't want to be around any other pandas. They don't know how to go do that. They don't know why that pandas do that. They prefer to live alone, and that is why breeding and reproducing has become a main reason for their endangerment. They only interact with others of their kind in certain times of the year when they choose to. But in zoos and in facilities that conserve the pandas, they are trying to teach them to mate, on their own, and they're taking care of the cubs to make sure that they don't get sick, that they eat enough, that the mothers won't harm their children because they're not used to having cubs. The second main reason for the endangerment is their food supply. A panda's diet is 99% bamboo, and bamboo looks like this. This is the bamboo forest in China. Now it looks just like cane around here. It has the long stem, the leaf, and the root system. That's all, and there's hardly any nutrition and minerals in it. So a panda has to eat up to 22 to 40 pounds a day. Now a panda weighs 500 pounds, so 40 pounds of bamboo is a lot. They will eat the whole stem and the roots, but they only prefer the leaves. And the reason why this is a main part of their endangerment is because people will mow down the bamboo forest to build buildings and hotels and roads to travel on, and they're unaware that that's the 99% of their food supply. And also they only stay in that certain mile, 2.5 mile radius, and they will just eat all the bamboo. They don't know how to go off and forage for little animals that has more protein and nutrition for them. They only like bamboo. They're very picky eaters, and once they eat all the bamboo out of their area, they won't go anywhere else. They'll sit there and they'll try to eat a small bird or mammal, a rat, but they don't like it. And a lot of pandas will starve because they won't go forage for more food. The third main reason would be human poaching. That is the main reason for any endangered species, why they're endangered. Humans, they hunt Bengal tigers and pandas and rhinos for their ivory. They don't want the meat, they want the skin, the horns off of it to sell it on the black market. A panda skin can go for up to $3,000 on the market, on the black market. And this is illegal, but of course people are still going to do it. They're going to go behind and they're going to sell them and kill them. And pandas have no camouflage. Imagine walking through greenery and all you see is a big black and white bear thing. They don't have camo. They don't know how to blend in their surroundings, so they're just stuck out. It's basically they're not even ahead at all. They can't run. They catch them and they will just skin them and sell their hide. And a majority of the pandas live in reserves now. You will only find around 800 in the wild. Most are in zoos around the world. There is a zoo in Washington, D.C. that has pandas, and every time that a panda has a cub, they give it a name with 3 names. It's traditional for China, and they have a big celebration because it's another life. It's another endangered species that is born. A big fund that helps endangered animals is the World Wildlife Fund, and you've probably seen the logo. The logo actually has a panda on it. You can see these logos. They might, if you go to the zoo and you buy a little stuffed animal, it actually has World Wildlife Fund on the tag. Or you might see commercials that are asking for donations, and they'll send you little gifts. That's to go toward helping animals, and it's not just pandas. It's different types of plants that are endangered. It's different types of animals. It's different types of birds, insects. It's different types of lizards and amphibians. The most common is a Bengal tiger, a panda. A panda is on the priority list of the World Wildlife Fund. Their endangerment is very crucial. A Bengal tiger, a whale, all sorts of different species. They need help. They need help building them habitats. There's not many habitats for pandas around the world. There is a big one in China, and they try to do their best, but the more pandas they get, the more they have to stick like 3 to a cage, and they don't even like being around one other panda, so much less they don't want to be crammed in a cage full of 3 or 4 of them. And they do have big areas where they'll let them out and see how they interact with each other and how they will go and look around in the wild, but they have to bring them back in because they don't want to lose them. You don't want this species to be extinct. It's just whenever in the future you don't want to have your child ask, what's a panda? Well, what's a tiger? You know, because they're beautiful animals, you know, and they do deserve help. Humans are the only things that can help pandas and help other endangered animals, but they are also the main cause of it. And it's really sad. Due to the natural and human causes of the extinction and the endangerment of many animals, including the pandas, the only thing to do is to retrace the problems and reverse it. Stop breaking up the families of the pandas. Stop making roads where the bamboo is. Help them broaden their appetite in the zoos that they keep them. They're actually trying to do that. They try to feed pandas different things so they won't just eat bamboo. They're trying to broaden their appetite. There are many people helping the giant pandas, but there can be more. Let your child donate to a Bengal tiger or a panda when they see that commercial. Let them do that, because every little penny helps. Many people that help endangered species, they have one dream, and it's to see them abundant by themselves with no help. They want them to be independent and not have the dependency on humans that they have now. I actually have a picture of a lot of baby pandas. They're really cute. They're in a crib. They're in China. They breed them and they nurse the babies. When the babies are born, they're actually very, very small, kind of like a kangaroo. They're really little, like a little rodent, and they grow up, and it takes a lot of help and a lot of taking care of them, but they're succeeding. That's about 8 of them right there, and they're gonna come back one day. But in order for the pandas to become abundant again, they need help from humans, and that way they won't have to worry about anything else. Many people, they have one dream, and that is for those wonderful animals to become abundant once again in the wild and always be protected by the people that care. And that's what I have to say about the pandas. My favorite animal is the panda, and I really enjoyed spreading the word about why they are endangered and what you can do to help. Thank you.